all change at the top of the Bundesliga as Bayern put 5 past Dortmund. But will they remain number 1? We'll talk about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video, this time looking forward to match day number 29 in the old 2018-2019 Bundesliga season. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button, keep you bang up to date with all things Bundesliga related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We're going to all here under one roof. Now let's jump in. Well, before we jump into match day number 29, we'll look back at that 5-0 stonking and the rest of match day 28 over in the Bundesliga. So Mainz took on Freiburg last weekend, and that picked up a 5-0 stomping over Freiburg to put them in 12th spot. That ended a run of 4 defeats on the spin. Actually saw it going the other way for Freiburg, 2-1 win. So how wrong was I there, boys? Big time. More goals in Germany and Leverkusen, and there was 6 in it. 4 for Leipzig, 2 for Leverkusen, and Leipzig looks solid in 3rd spot. In fact, Frankfurt clipping at the heels as well. I saw it was a 2-0 win going in favour of Leipzig, so got the right direction of the result, just a little bit less on the scores. Schalke took on Eintracht Frankfurt this weekend, and it looks so doom and gloom for Schalke, despite they're hanging in there. Actually, so it was a 2-1 win in favour of Eintracht Frankfurt, and I got that one bang on the nose, boys and girls, bang on the nose. Meanwhile, Wolfsburg took on Hannove, and Wolfsburg picked up a 3-1 win over Hannove to give themselves a boost. They're actually into the old Europa League spots now. 6th spot on the table. That's 3 wins out of 6. Actually, so it was a 2-0 win as well. So if I ended my predictions right there, it looked pretty dang good. But it's a rocky patch here. Hertha Berlin took on Düsseldorf this weekend, and they lost. Hertha Berlin lost to Düsseldorf, 2-1 win away from them. For a fantastic season for them. 10th spot on the table. That's 4 wins out of 6. Actually, so 2-1 going the other way, boys. So I got that one absolutely wrong. Strugglers Stuttgart took on Nürnberg and picked up a 1-1 draw. In fact, they're both struggling, and actually it's a point in the right direction for Stuttgart, but still they're in the playoff spot, so it could go south for them if they don't pick up some points. Actually saw it as a 2-0 win go in favour of Stuttgart. And here it is, the top of the table crunch clash. Bayern up against Dortmund. 5-0 stonking, but that only puts them 1 point clear. It gives them a superior goal difference, which could have a major effect on where that title goes at the end of the season. I actually saw Bayern putting up a benchmark as well, a 3-1 win, but I didn't see 5. No way, without response as well. So Dortmund need to up their game. That's 2 defeats out of 6 now. Is the pressure getting to them? We'll have to wait and see. Augsburg took on Hoffenheim as well this weekend. Hoffenheim again Hoffenheim and Leipzig put up some numbers. 4-0 win away from home, folks. And I actually saw it going the other way, because Hoffenheim are up and down. You never know what you're going to get with them. Where are they? They're at the table. They're in 7th spot, just outside the old Europa League spots. So 2-1 for me in favour of Augsburg. So I got that one wrong, folks. Augsburg getting sucked into that relegation. Mönchengladbach up against Werder Bremen. Mönchengladbach are in a woeful bit of form at the moment. Just 1 win out of 6. They drew with Werder Bremen. At least it was a point in the right direction. Actually, so it was a 2-0 win in favour of my boys, but they're slipping off the pace, and they could drop out of Europe completely if they don't get their act together. Meanwhile, let's take a look at what's going on this weekend. It is Nürnberg, who are in 17th spot, up against Schalke, who are in 14th spot. If there's ever a game that Schalke need to win, it is this one. I actually see them doing a 3-1 win, and that win could eventually get them a little bit further away from the old drop zone. It won't get them much higher in the table, but it will close the gap in on 13th spot Freiburg, depending on what else goes on. Stuttgart take on Leverkusen. Stuttgart in 16th spot. Their form is lost 2 out of 6. When you look at it like that, not bad. Leverkusen on the flip side are in, where are they? They've dropped off a bit as well. They're in 9th spot. Their form is absolutely dreadful. 3 defeats on the spin, but they go back to winning ways with a 2-0 away win over Stuttgart this weekend. Hannove take on my boys, Mönchengladbach. I can't see anything. Hannove coming to this in bottom spot, 6 defeats on the spin. Mönchengladbach got to get back to winning ways, 2-0 win, and that could possibly get themselves a little bit closer to 4th spot Frankfurt, who are 4 points clear of them at the table. Meanwhile, Leipzig take on Wolfsburg this weekend. Leipzig on a great bit of form as well, unbeaten in at least 6 games, 3 wins on the spin, and they'll make it 4 Sorry, I've leapfrogged one. I've leapfrogged Werder Bremen against Freiburg. Werder Bremen come into this in 8th spot in good form as well, and beaten in at least 6 games up against the Freiburg side in 13th spot, who have just won 2 out of 6. So yeah, going with Werder Bremen on this one. 3-0 win, comfortable win for them, and that could close the door as well. In fact, they could leapfrog a few teams and get into 6th spot, depending on what else goes on this weekend. And here we are, Leipzig go against Wolfsburg. Leipzig putting down the numbers, unbeaten in at least 6 games, winning 3 on the spin, up against a Wolfsburg spot. Wolfsburg team are in 6th spot, so they're in decent form as well. 2 losses out of the past 6, not bad. It's probably where you would expect them to be, in around mix of the top 10. But I'm seeing Leipzig putting a benchmark once again, 4-1 win, and that win could get them to, or maintain, or increase their lead over Frankfurt, depending on what goes on with them. Dortmund take on Mainz this weekend. They need to get back to winning ways at the first attempt. And they will. They'll get back to a comfortable 3-0 win over Mainz. Mainz are a difficult side as well. They're coming to this in 12th, but they've lost 4 of the past 5 games, so they should be able to take advantage of that, Dortmund. Hoffenheim take on Hertha Berlin. Hoffenheim come into this in 7th spot, Hertha Berlin in 11th. Berlin with 4 defeats on the spin up against a Hoffenheim side who've just lost 1 in 6. So going to go with a nervy 5-goal thriller, 3-2 in favour of Hoffenheim, and that win could push them also into the old Europa League spots, depending on what goes on elsewhere. Fortuna Düsseldorf take on Bayern. Now, Fortuna Düsseldorf have an amazing season in 10th spot. Just 2 losses out of the past 6 up against a Bayern side who look pretty solid. Just 1 draw out of the past 6. So they look pretty solid at the moment, and I want an upset, but I don't see it. I think 3-1 win in favour of Bayern to make their lead remain going into the next fixture. Frankfurt take on Augsburg to wrap up the weekend. Frankfurt coming to this in 4th, 6 on the spin. They look red hot up against a Augsburg side who look in trouble. 2 defeats on the spin for them, and they're going to lose this one. Another 5-goal thriller. A lot of goals in Germany these days. 3-2 win for Frankfurt to give themselves a boost and possibly go to 3rd spot, depending on what goes on with Leipzig. That's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a good old thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button. Keep you bang up to date with all things Bundesliga related, Blackburn Rovers related, Championship, World Football related, all here under one roof. And while I still have you, check out the old description. Links to my other social media platforms are in there. Twitter and Facebook. Make sure you check me out on Facebook. Oh, sorry, on Twitter. I'm more out. You can chat with me on the fly. It's just me, boys. It's just me. So you can do that. The link is in there. And also put your own predictions down in the comment section down below. What you think will happen this weekend in the old Bundesliga. Is it game over for Dortmund? Will Bayern run away with it? I will have to wait and see. Give me your thoughts and opinions. Anyway, let's get out of here. How many games left do we have here? We have 18, 36. So after this, we have 7 more games in the old Bundesliga. So it is coming up thick and fast, folks. So we'll wrap it up very, very soon. Until then, thumbs up, subscribe. Ciao for now. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.